Hello, good morning. How are you all doing today? Um, that was a very question mark good morning, but that's only because I was looking at the mic, making sure that that was on today. Hello, it's Itsu. How are you doing today? So I heard about a new game that we can try out as part of our challenge thing, which looks like it could be pretty fun. And that is, what is it? Ort? It was shared this morning. Yeah, Ort. Okay, that's not what I wanted to copy. You're doing okay, a bit fed up with working through documentation instead of building something. I can understand that. Hello, Deddy. How was your day? Good evening. It's night 9 p.m. at night. That is, well, I guess that's late, but that's not extremely late. This is the game that I was thinking of. And it's mostly like this. So this is the game that was referenced out. I think Groovy suggested it. Right? Do I see? No. Yeah. Okay. So this could be a lot of fun. So obviously that's gonna be added to the list. So Ort RS. Groovy. Okay. In the meantime, we are, however, starting on an actual project. So the morning streams are going to be projects. Afternoon streams are going to be fun. So we're starting on a sort of X Twitter clone with Axum. We're going to use the latest Axums. That's 07. I can't remember if 1 came out yet. We should probably check that. What am I doing? There, we're going to crates. Yeah, okay, 071 has come out. So this is the one we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll talk about how this is going to work. To also make sure we're using the latest Rust version. Okay, so we want to do a cargo new. This will be a binary project. That's going to be fine. We'll call this the X Twitter clone with Axum. I should probably put that at the beginning. Axum X Twitter clone. Okay, we'll cd to that. And what do we need? So, well, okay. I want to make this like relatively showing off. So it's going to be in replacement of like a full course or something else. We're just going to be like a building it together. And so you can use that sort of like to watch through and like, you know, see any parts that we need. So today, I guess we'll do some planning. So let's touch a README. All right. So what's the plan? I guess like the description of this is we're cloning the the basics. Like really, if we remove everything but the like really basics part of what a X Twitter really is, which is a micro blogging platform. So okay, so we have a microblogging platform, um, following features, which will be implementing. Okay, so we can, I'm not going to do authentication. That's going to be outside the scope of this. So we're going to do, what is it called? We're going to do create a post. So it's basically a CRUD app, right? So we want to create. So want to create a post. Also, ooh, look who showed up. Zilby's here. So the camera's in the wrong position. Hold on, let me fix that. All right. Okay, so we want to create a post. So that's simple enough, right? However, posts can only have, let's go with like the original thing. We have like what, 250 characters that we can work with. So we want to like limit the characters per post. I know like some part of it, you know, some accounts you can do more, but we're really trying to like dial in on really just like what can we use to be educational to us, which is like a learning project. So we're not actually trying to like clone it. It's just using it as inspiration. Okay, so create a post, limit the characters per post. When we create one, we also want to, we'll use in-memory DB. So yeah, that's a good question. I'm thinking we can use an actual DB. So either SQLX, I was thinking about using SQLX. I was thinking about either Postgres or we could use SQLite. I haven't done much SQLite, especially with Rust. So that would be fun to sort of throw in here. And I don't think we'd have that big of a problem. The character limits per post, like there's no such thing as limits for characters in the database itself, but it'd be us. Fun? Yeah, fun. I do have a slightly different definition of fun than most other people. Okay. At least it seems to work differently for me. I have a lot of fun doing this type of stuff. All right, so create a post. We want to limit the number of characters per post. When we create a post, this can also be in response to another post, right? So can it be post on its own, or like optionally? So optionally can be response to another post. On top of that, optionally can be response to response. That's always going to be a fun thing, right? So, okay. We want to create a post. We want to limit the characters per post. It can be a response to a post. It can be a response to a response. The real Enrico, hello. How are you doing today? On second thoughts, I will stick with this middleware, this documentation, rather than go back to SQLite. Okay, if we don't like SQLite, then we can stick with Postgres. So we could put something like this: posts are added, are stored in Postgres. I'm okay with that. I actually like Postgres a lot, so I'm very happy to do that. Oh, Zilby went below the camera. Hold on. Much better. Varun, hello. Anything related to custom middleware? Yes. We'll have to do, that's a good point. So validate, so posts are validated before storing in database, and that validation will happen in middleware. Okay. So that's going to be create a post. Now, so that's all of the C in CRUD. So then we have R, so read. So we want to be able to get a list of all top level posts. We want to get one post. Now that means, okay, so hold on. Get a list of all top level posts. This includes, okay, so this is just the text, right? So just the text and the like count. That's really all we care about. So we usually do one layer of validation, and usually that's done with middleware. That's what I like to do, is have well, okay, I have the front end and the back end do validation. On the front end, the validation is really a nicety. It's basically to tell the user, hey, you're going to fail if you do this, so let's like stop you now before you waste too much time, which is very nice for the user. For the back end, it's more of a, I don't trust you. You're all hackers and I can't prove it, but I bet you're all trying to fuck me over. That's generally what we do in a back end. And so that's where the middleware, I do the validation there, test everything, and then move, like, then I pass it to the thing once it passes that. And that's always going to be custom middleware. I like custom middleware for that because it just separates out the logic of the validation from the actual do the thing. Okay, so get a list of all top level posts. So we have just the text and account, the like count. But we can also, so that's it. So like we have just a list of all the top level posts. Okay. Then we want to get one post. And if we get one post, we also want to get immediate responses to that post, to the post. So that way we can just see those, and if there's more of those, we can see those in there too. So we want, I guess for here we have like the text, the likes, so text for so text, likes, I think that's going to be get, right? So we either get all and we get one. but getting one also gets you a bunch of other ones too. So that's going to be interesting. And then I think this is going to get us our many-to-many join, because I think it's really important for like practice projects like these to have a many-to-many join, if possible. If it's not a many-to-many join, it's at least going to be a join of some kind. Okay, so we have that. So that's update. Now, do we want to allow updating the post? We could opt not to allow that and just say like, hey, I think that's a paid feature, right? You have to pay for the ability to update, or can you just update anything now? Let's just say we can update. So update post text. And then that's really gonna be pretty easy. Varun, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for that. You love how much content you have for Axum. Are you also running Axum for any projects in production? No, unfortunately, I'm not. I want to eventually, but right now I have a single server that's running active, and that's on Hasura server. And so I can eventually, like, once I feel like I need something like more, I can start doing a bunch of like Axum type stuffs in there. So it's on my list. Like it's my short list of technologies to use once I get to that point, but I'm not there yet. However, I do like it a lot. So thank you again so much for the super. All right, update post text. So that's not really gonna, like, that's just update and then delete. So delete post. Okay, so delete post. We have to make a decision. When we delete a post, do we also delete all the comments, all the responses to the post, or do we keep those there and we just have a deleted? I'm thinking that we can just say, hey, it's deleted, all the comments are deleted too. I'm okay with that. So we're gonna hard delete post, hard delete responses. Recursively. So like if there's, you think soft delete would be great? We could do a soft delete. For those of you who don't know, the difference between a hard delete and a soft delete is a hard delete is actually removing it from the database. It's gone forever. A soft delete is marking that the post is deleted with like a deleted at date, and then pretending that it's gone forever, but it's really still there in the database. And that allows you to undelete it there. So we could do that. So we could delete post, and this is gonna be a soft delete post, soft delete responses recursively. That way, if we want to, we can sort of update these. Now, do I really want to delete the responses, or do I want to show like, okay, deleted, and then you can still see like a whole bunch of stuff? Because I think that's actually how it works in the real one. Is like you could see a deleted post, but then you can see all the responses to it. And now it's not like a post, it would be like a response. You can see it. So I think we don't worry about deleting those recursively because we're not going to show them, right? They're just not going to show up. They're just going to be in the database, but they're just gone. They're not going to be visible. I think that's okay. And then that way, if we undo the soft delete, everything will be fine. So we can, in this case, for update post text, So we can obviously update the text, but we can also undelete a post. Soft delete, but we cannot see it because when it has been deleted, just for audit trail when we want to see it. Okay, that sounds good. So we can undelete too, which will then bring it back. And that's it. This is CRUD. So is there anything that we're missing? I think these are the features, right? So we want the following features, and then we have the tech to use. So features are tech. So obviously we're going to be using Axum. So Axum 0.71. I'm thinking we'll note down the versions we're using here, because I have noticed in the past, if I don't put the versions down, it makes it a lot harder for us to say like, hey, this is, use the version in like this document. Otherwise you're going to run into problems, because like 0.72 is going to come out or something like that. And that's going to break more things. And we don't want to, we want people to be able to follow along and not worry about that. How about get one post when get immediate response, we'll only see top 10. Yeah, we can do that. We can add in get one post, get immediate responses to post, and we can add in paginate, and then get a list of all top level posts, and we can also paginate here too. I kind of like that. Okay, so this is our plan. Let's go ahead and I guess we'll do our first commit for this. Let's we'll do this over here. That way, all of the sort of boring stuff that's like CLI that we're not really doing anything, like git commits, all that stuff, those will be behind Zilby. We don't really care about those. All right, so this is our initial commit. And I don't have anything right here, so let's go ahead and push this up. Create. Okay, so I want to push an existing at the local. That in books builds. Description. Okay, so X Twitter clone in Axum 0.7.1. Okay, that is up there, and we should be able to go find that now. And if you're all interested in following along, here is the link. Okay. Back to this. So let's go ahead, and now we're going to install Axum 0.7.1. Okay, so Axum 0.7.1, that's good. Now, do I want any of these things? Notice that headers is gone. That used to be a feature here. That is gone. HTTP2 macros. I think we're going to be okay without these. We're not going to be doing anything big with this. I don't think we need tracing, but we probably want the tracing crate. So do cargo add I guess let's just get things set up and like get them running with this. Tea Kettle Drone, hello. How are you doing today? Rezace? I don't know how to pronounce that. Also, hello. How are you doing today? Oh, you're referring to typed headers? They're available in a different crate. Yeah, I just I remember they are in a different crate now. Weren't they in a different crate? Weren't they in HTTP? No, that was status code. That was in HTTP. But yeah, they moved some stuff around. I haven't actually. Okay, Rex is fine. All right, I'll try to remember that. How are you doing today? And yeah, okay, I vaguely remember reading that they were in a different crate. But let's go ahead and get ourselves set up with this. So I want to not do that. I want to rename you to probably not with this. I probably want to start with the same sort of pattern that I normally start with, which is creating a router. I'm thinking that the router type thing is relatively similar, so we should be able to go into source. You don't need to be in the module. There you go. Okay. That was, I hate how like sometimes REST handlers are like, oh, your lib.rs needs to be in the tree. Let's go ahead and add that to main. It's like, ooh, that's not gonna work out very well. Okay, so I usually just do this as a function. So we're gonna have a pub function create router. We can do create main router, because that's what this is. We still have Axum routers. That's a good thing. And we still have the ability to do route and layer and all that stuff. So that's gonna be great. But obviously we're just starting with this, and that's all it is. And then recently I've been enjoying using a struct for the main library. And we can put some state stuff in here that we don't need as actual state. So like this is just going to be like, you know, the address and a port. So we can create that and sort of customize that at launch time and then have access to that when it's runtime. And I assume this is all going to be the same. Otherwise, we're going to find out really quickly. So this is what? U8s, 4 of them. If I want to put this into a Docker container, I'll need to bring the address in too, so I can make it like 0000. But for right now, this will be fine. I'm not going to run it in Docker. We'll probably run the database in Docker though. Scott, hello. How are you doing today? Self. Okay, so we have our address and port. And that's it. Okay, so we're good to go here. So that means we can go back to main and actually start with this. So we actually need Tokyo, don't we? Have you recommended that to me before? I don't remember if you have. Why did I choose this? Did I do this because that's what the documentation here suggested? Oh. Oh, it's different now. Okay. From IP adder, can I get this format? I probably can, right? We watched some of the older stuff on YouTube a couple days ago. Oh, how old did you go? There's a lot of it gets pretty old. IP adder. Okay, so this enum can contain either 3 years ago. I was still doing Rust, right? 3 years ago? That's not like before Rust. V4. I probably want V4, or I could do from. Oh, but that require, okay, so let's do from value. So this would be 127. 1. My hair did have less gray, yeah. It wants a 2-socket adder, so a plain socket adder or IP adder U16 would work. Okay, nice. Spartan, TGR, hello. Also, that I have not updated that in a long time. Hold on. Let me, I mean, it's kind of correct. It's kind of correct. It's not really a full course on Axum right now. This is going to be we're walking through and we're going to create a X Twitter clone with Axum, and it's sort of like a walkthrough essentially of it. Git says Twitter clone. Yeah, that's true. Git is it's more correct. It's probably better than the current X already. It's gonna have a lot less features. That's gonna be true. Okay, so I think we can do that. So we have port. Okay, so that's fine. So then I want you to be an IP adder. From stir is not satisfied. Oh, but you can do the array. Okay, we could do the array thing. So that entire thing was actually correct. There we go. All right, so we store that in there. So back to main. So we don't need it yet, but we're definitely going to need Tokyo soon. So let's first create. Oh, to figure out our port, we need .env. So I do a lot of Node.js stuff in my day job, and I am really liking how you no longer need .env to just grab things from .env. And so I'm kind of hoping that all the other languages follow suit and add in a feature that I can just say, could just load the things from the .env. Just like add that in. Node.js to Rust, 180. It kind of does feel like that, because I'm going to do Rust in the morning here. I do my day job, and then I do another stream in the afternoon with Rust back again. So it is a context shift. But it makes things more fun. Okay, so I also want a cargo add .env Do I need the macro? I don't need the macro because this is going to be at runtime. So .env is going to be fine. And I want that. I and you have different definitions of fun. Yeah. No, I mean, it's true. So like fun is fun is a thing. I try not to like be negative to that. So everything that's like frustrating gets thrown into fun. But also fun gets thrown into fun. So that way it's like it's a mind trick. It's one of the like, mind hacks that we can do to like, have try to have some kind of semblance of not going crazy. Okay, so we're gonna load up the .env if it's there, which is fine. So what I want to do is now have random port pipe to pb copy. There we go with that. And then before I forget, oh, didn't mean to quit. Before I forget and git ignore, we add in a .env. Okay, I don't want that. I want main. Okay, so we need the port. Okay, so that will give us the port, as a string. So then I want to convert this into the appropriate type. When did I start Rust and when did I decide that I liked it? Also, Mediv, hello, how are you doing today? Use Java for work, but you want to try Rust. Rust is fun. I would recommend playing around with it at the very least if you want to try it. When did I start? So in 2018 or so, I want to say, maybe 2019, around that sort of era. So right after Rust went 1.0, I was at work. I was teaching still at a code school, and I was teaching sort of like, it's all just like sort of JavaScripty based stuff, and I've been doing that plus web dev for a long time. So I'm like, I kind of want to like make sure I still do some kind of compiled language that has some kind of memory management of some kind. So I bought a book on C and I was starting to go through that, and I was just going to be making some like toy projects and some other things just to get myself set up with C again. And one of my coworkers saw what I was doing and was like, "What are you doing? Don't use C. Use a modern language." And so I suggested that I take a look into Rust. So I hadn't really heard of Rust before then. When there was a meetup that was running locally, so I attended that, and basically from there is like, okay, well let's like see what we can do. Now I already had a live stream that was going on, but I wasn't doing Rust there obviously, so I just started going through the book on live stream, and I decided that I liked it really quickly, partly because community learning with Rust is actually a lot of fun. There's some of us here, some of us may remember that, remember that time. But yeah, we had some really good sort of back and forths and learnings, and I think my learning of it was faster because of I did the community style. So does that make sense, Tea Kettle Drone? Basically, I started liking it almost immediately. I also saw it as like sort of like a puzzle game type thing. It's like, hey, it's a new thing. We're learning new skills, and yeah, it's hard, but it's also fun. And I do enjoy hard things, like making sure that they're figuring out like how to solve them and do that's to me that is fun. All right, so let's now convert this to the appropriate type, and then we can do another expect, right? So I want a port. I want to parse it. Oh, I guess I can do this in here too, can I? So now I want to parse you as a U16. So port must be a valid number. Okay, so we have that. We want to create our app. All right, so good so far. Next up, I want to be able to run app run. So that's going to be our first asynchronous stuff. And this can fail, so I want a result. I do enjoy running with error as my result handler, which just had an update, I believe. So that's fun. Error 069. Okay, so now we're going to use the result from error, and we don't need to pass anything back now, so that's going to be okay. All right, so first thing, we need a router. So, well, we already have a router, so we can get that. So we can create the main router. Once we have the router, I need the so what new stuff, because I think this has changed a little bit, because I got a complaint that they couldn't start the server with the 0.5 course, which kind of makes sense. There's been 2 major versions since then. So we create a router. Okay, so we need to use TokyoNet TCP listener. So what feature of Tokyo do we need? Let's find out. So we need Tokyo. I'm making this big because Tokyo has a lot of features. So you know what? I actually do know. Well, let's do one thing at a time. Tokyo. Okay. We have bytes, FS for. Okay, so I think we need net, because we see that we're using net TCP listener, and I don't see like a TCP listener type thing, so we need net. So we need f net. How do I know which crates you need? Do you do research? And if so, how do you go about it? Right now, it's mostly just well, okay, it's things like this. So I know I need look at the order that I'm doing this in, right? Like, okay, I need Axum because I'm building this Axum app. So like I can just install that right away. But then after that, it's like, okay, oh, hey, I needed error handling. What's my favorite error handling crate? Let me go ahead and pull that in right when I need it. So then I've used like error before, so therefore it's just on the top of my mind for what to choose. So I don't necessarily try to figure out like the crates I'm going to need ahead of time. I just sort of dive into it, but that's more of my style. Like I'm really big on just let's just go in. What's the worst that can happen? We're gonna get lost if everything is gonna, we're gonna, run into problems, but it's gonna be okay because we're gonna get out of the problems too. And this is the best way to learn, because if I run into problems, I have to get myself out of problems, and the getting out of problems is the learning. Like that's when the most learning happens. So I basically don't do any research at all. And I just sort of muddle through it, and I try to get really good at muddling through it. Okay, so we have router, create router. What was I doing? Oh right. So we know we need net, and then for this type of thing, like what features that I need is like, okay, well Tokyo has this net here, and I see a net here, so I bet I need net. That's how life is. So good skill to have. It does feel like that a lot. RT multi-thread. So I want RT multi-thread because I've used that before, and that is extremely helpful. And then macros is extremely helpful. Okay, so we have all those. Now I want, this is the first one we have with features. So we added in, oh, I guess like net. RT multi-thread and macros. Do I need this features here? I wonder if let's do that. I wonder if that's actually gonna be something that like just sort of is in a way, or if like this is probably helpful because of, like, it's really specific and it's like, oh hey, what is this net thing? What is that thing? Oh, they're features. Let me just say that. Pomero, hello. How are you doing today? Consider using clap to get the address port options. Yeah, that could be fun too. That being said though, when I run this, like when you run this like on a server, so like we're probably not going to deploy this for real life, but if we do, you don't want it to have an interactive mode. You want it to be able to just come up automatically, right? Which is not going to be through something like clap, just through environment variables. So I wouldn't recommend like a server that's going to be standalone, deployed on its own, automatically restarted and scaled. Probably shouldn't have a CLI, like getting something from standard in. That's like in my mind for that. But I could see, like, if you wanted to run just once locally and then that's it, it's never going to be deployed, then clap probably would be a good idea. All right, what was I doing? We were getting, oh right, we were starting this thing. So we want to do Tokyo Net TCP listener. Now you're making this into the listener. Oh, you still go with that and use the environment feature, or just go with a custom environment file. Oh yeah, that could work too. Where, yeah, I could see that. I can see that. It's a little bit out of scope for like this specific project, but that could be something we can play around with. In fact, let's add clap to our tech. Okay, so net, was it TCP listener? Was TCP listener. And then you bind. All right, so now this takes an address, but it's an A. I forget the command to scroll down inside of here. It was like Control J or something. No, not Control J. Control, no, not Control L. Do I have to be in like insert mode? Nope, that's definitely not it. Oh, wait, do I have to lock the interface and then I want to do something? No, I don't remember what it is. I've looked it up a few different times and then I forget what it is. Now, so you're taking in a string, but I believe that this bind can be, well, it's this generic A, which can do 2 socket adders, which I bet means that this can work. Can I add in the address? Oh, I probably can do this as a tuple. So self dot address self dot port. We'll await it, and then we'll question mark you. Ooh, okay. So far it likes it, but at runtime we'll have to see how it goes, because this may or may not work out the way we want it to. Okay, so you're happy there. Okay, so router listener, we bind to you. Okay, so then we've created our listener, and then next up is we just serve. So Axum serve listener, and then the app. So they call the app the router. I call the app like the entire thing. So then you pass in just the router. So did they go back on this? I feel like we in 0.6 we had to do into make service with the router, and then it used to be we just handed like, oh, like a reference to the router, and then we did into make service, and now we went back to just give it ownership of the router. I feel like that one, but I don't remember for sure, for certain. So we'll do Axum serve. We have our listener and our router. We'll await question mark you. Okay, you're okay. Now we need to go into main and make you an async. Okay, so if I run this, we should not get an error. Oh, interface locked. I can't move panes. All right, so let's we're gonna do a cargo watch on this. Okay, running, it did not crash. We can't, like, there's nothing that we can do with it, but that's good. Okay, tracing would be the next thing, because I want some kind of message to show up behind me saying, hey, we've, you know, the server's running on whatever port. So let's add in tracing. So I want tracing. I think this is going to be fine, so no extra features. And then we also need tracing subscriber. And then what's the, tower HTTP. So we can actually get like, hey, the 404 and the other things. With the trace feature. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of things we have to pull in for this. And we're not done. There's still going to be more things we have to pull in. Okay, so let's start. Recently, I started doing the tracing initialize here in new. So that way, that's just all set up and guaranteed to be set up before we do the run. But my Helix isn't like listening to the new thing. Is there? I wonder if there's like a config I need to change for that. Okay, so we initialize tracing subscriber, and then right before we serve, we're gonna do a tracing info. Okay, so I should actually see that. Yep, right behind me. You can sort of see the message. Server listening on port 33498. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's good. And then the other thing, we want to go back to the router and add in our middleware. So I want this to be on a layer, so I wanted to hit on every route, including the ones that it doesn't match on. Ooh, I think it's trace layer new for HTTP. That's what it is. Okay. Now if I, what are we using these days? We're slightly unhappy, but we're still using, my brain is recalling like sleep. is getting the word sleep for the name of the app, but that's definitely not correct. Insomnia. Insomnia is the name of the app. That's why my brain was thinking of sleep. Oh, okay, sure. We'll do that. Let's go ahead and restart. Okay, we'll do a new, oh, right, I forget. Like, I need to sign up for it. I'm just using the local scratchpad. That's the reason why we're not happy with it anymore. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so can I clear all you? No? Yes. All right, so I could do a folder, but we're just going to do a new request for this full thing. So we're going to do a, we're going to call this our canary. So we're going to get to and if we do that, we get this 404 not found, but then behind me, it's a little bit hard to see. Restart this. Okay, so above Zilby, you can see we get finished processing, request latency 0, status 404. So that's our tower middleware hitting that for us. So now we can see what's going on in our logs, which is really nice. Okay, so that is the equivalent of like the hello world. So we're good to go there, which means we can now start thinking about other things. Well, we know we need a database. We're not doing authentication, so I don't need to set that up. So database is probably the next thing to do. Let's git commit this though. So we just have initial server setup. Okay, we want our database set up. So I probably want to throw this into maybe like a Docker Compose, even though if it's just one thing. That way somebody else, if they have Docker, can choose to run it too. So let's do a... Is it YAML? I think it's compose.yaml, not... Or it doesn't matter. It's either YAML or YAML. Are you going to help me here? Oh, look at that. You can help me here. Okay, so version. Declared for backward compatibility. Ignored. Don't care. Name. Compose the project file name until user defines... Okay, so I don't... subproject. Okay, we don't do that. Services. Oh, you... Okay, that was it. You're done helping me now. Cool. I forget how the compose file works. I never really remember this. Okay, version optional, services required. Yeah, so we've started with services. I'm not going to build from a Docker file. We're just going to go straight to Docker Hub with this. Ooh, but we can load this from the same environment file. So let's do that. So we have env file. You can't help here. So env file is going to be. Oh, we have to do the service name, don't we? Oh, that's why it didn't help me. The service name. So we're going to use database. Now you help me with this. Okay, cool. .env file, we're going to use .env. Do I need the quotes? I don't think I need them. I probably want to expose, okay, so if we're using Postgres for this, we want to expose port 5432. I could do a health check. I don't know if I really need to. Image. Okay, so image. I need to go look that up. I am okay with using whatever the latest is, and then that should be totally fine. However, we can also lock it down to what is LTS? In fact, do they have a tag LTS? No, they don't. Almost. I got really close to what I wanted, and I did one more down arrow. Uh, 16, right? Just curious, why do I like Postgres? It's a good question because, like, I feel like every time I answer it, I come up with like different, like maybe different reasons, or I'm like maybe I'm inconsistent. I like Postgres probably because back when I really wanted to use and like stuff some objects inside of Postgres, the MySQL version that I wanted to use couldn't do it very well. I'm familiar with it as legitimate. I'm familiar with both MySQL and Postgres. I like Postgres more, and I think it just has a little bit more type support. Yeah. Unreal, hello. How are you doing today? Have I looked at DuckDB? I have not looked at DuckDB. We can add that to our list. Also, technically, even though we weren't really suggesting clap, I'm going to... Okay. Okay, Sitsu, you were the one who were suggesting clap, so I'll do sits. Wait, it's T before S. It's Sitsu. And then DuckDB. I have not used it at all. So DuckDB is neat because it works natively with Arrow, which is an in-memory data storage tech that allows you to do zero copy sharing. Interesting. I have also never used with Arrow. I've not done any of that stuff. Yeah, and so Docker pull Postgres always gets the latest, right? Yeah, it does. But what I really want to do is get the latest LTS, because I don't know how long this is. So this specific project is just going to be up on the internet forever, right? Like as long as GitHub is there, as long as YouTube is there for people to watch it. If like in a year somebody goes through this and like a new version of Postgres breaks something, then that could be a problem. So I want to make sure I lock it down. It looks like 16.1. So let's do 16. So this is gonna be Postgres 16. DuckDB is amazing. Would be excited for you to do a stream about it. Sure, yeah. And then I could add in. Okay, so it's Apache Arrow. Apache Arrow, and then also Unreal Realities 1387. Okay, so we're gonna grab the image from you. I'm pretty sure there's a way I can go down by page. I don't remember what it is though. Okay, so I don't think I need very much other stuff in here. Default network is gonna be fine. Ports. I want to. Right, it's gonna be like the weird thing. So we want 5432 to 5432. I might want to do a different port on the host side than the internal side, because that I actually may use multiple ports. So hold on. I don't want it to be random every time. I don't remember. Okay, so I'll just do this right now, and then if we run into problems, hopefully I'll remember to look in here. In fact, I have nothing up and running right now, so that will hopefully save us. Add this to look at DuckDB. Scanner for Postgres. DuckDB huh. Sure thing. Oh, the reason for your first question about Postgres was more about relational versus NoSQL. Okay. I like relational because a lot of the data does relate to each other. Like a lot of data that we use do relate to each other. And if you need to do like multiple queries or other stuff, sort of get at it, that's a lot of extra work that it's not great to have in your logic code, because now you need to test that code. And you now need to like write a whole bunch of testing logic to sort of figure that out. So if you use something like Mongo, which doesn't have a sort of like a relational aspect to it, either you're sort of nesting duplicate data within each other, or you're doing like soft relationships with each other. And the second you do soft relationships with each other, you might as well use a relationship database. That's the way I think about it. Now, if you're just using Mongo or Redis or DynamoDB or any of the other things for just like a pure document and nothing relates with each other, then a NoSQL database is better. Like absolutely, 100% is better. I have found that it's very rare for data to not relate to each other. It's usually something like a little cache something, or like, just sort of like at a store or something else like that. Unfortunately, DynamoDB is super expensive for heavy writes. Yeah, DynamoDB is not something I recommend unless you really know what you're doing. It's one of those things where it's like, I would almost recommend literally anything else unless you have either access to like a mentor who can like help you through it, or you like have that knowledge and experience through trial and error, because you can there's a lot of foot guns with DynamoDB, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, there'll be also, you can't see his head. Let's move the camera. That's better. Okay, we have ports. So okay, we did that. Next up. Is there anything else we care about in here? I don't need profiles or something like that. I could have it like restart automatically, but I don't really care that much. We're not going to do anything that's going to cause it to crash anyways, so we'll be fine. Oh, volumes. We need volumes. So I probably want to just have a named volume for this, because I want the data to stay around in case I have to restart everything. So this will just be our data database volume. We'll call it like just data. That'll be fine. Which does mean we need a volumes. We'll have data, and then I don't really care about what's in it. Just the default is gonna be fine. Oh, I probably should go from the top now, because we're close to the end. Yep. Working dir, I don't think I care about you. Oh, wrong keyboard. Okay, so this should get us, oh wait, no. Okay, we need to update our environment file. With the things we need from Postgres. So I'm okay with Postgres user being Postgres. I'm okay with the database name being Postgres. What's the one thing we need? We need to update like the password, right? Yeah, password. Postgres password is going to be keyboard cat. That's the one I always use for these. Except when I misspell it and it's keyboard cat. Okay, so I think that's everything we need to get this started. So I can do a Docker compose up and then background daemon that. Oh, invalid mount config for type volume. Ooh, okay. So I did that volume incorrectly. Oh, it's something like, oh, right. It's data to, where does that data volume go? PG data, it goes, when mounting a volume to varlib PostgreSQL, the varlib PostgreSQL data path is a local volume from the container runtime, thus data is not persisted on the mounted volume. Wait, so I just want to do... Yeah, so I want to go to this data. So go to that. Let's try this again. Okay, started. Now this is going to be an empty database that has Postgres, but like there's nothing inside of it. But we can connect to it. So hold on. Before I do anything else, we should update the README. We have our tech. Okay, so ooh, I don't actually have that file here. So you need to update. So we need to. I'm okay with just like copying that over there. So we just have .env example setting it up like that. That's okay. Why don't you see that? Oh, why did I do that? And okay, that's why I don't see it. That's not going to work. Let's see. I want to do commit. Okay, so I have that there, which means, okay, you will need to update the, you will need to create a, so I guess we should do setup first. Add a .env. Okay, so create the .env file by copying the to .env on a what would be like a Unix-like system. Do this with the command copy okay. Update the environment variables to whatever you want. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so now for a database, I don't need to add that in there because now we already have a .env, and so we're good to go. Okay, so now we have a database running. Excellent. We can connect to this. So connecting to the database locally. Is that word? Is that a word? Execing? I don't think that's a word. I think this works, right? So like there are no relations, so this is the command to use. Okay, so now that's how to connect into the database for anybody who needs that. Excellent. Okay, so we have our database. We have that set up for us. Okay, what else do we need to do? I don't oh, we need the models. We need to set up all that stuff. Okay, so part of their database, so our what is it called? Our ERD, which is not really very easy to do in Markdown, but it's I probably shouldn't even call this. We'll just call this models. So we know we need posts. So we need posts. Do I want to? Oh, right. I can use mermaid. I forgot. Yeah. Dalek, hello. How are you doing today? Is Axum better than Actix? It depends. Like many things, it depends is the appropriate answer here. So, I mean, maybe if you have tried Actix Web and you don't like it, then Axum might be the way to go for you. Actix has been around for a lot longer. It has had more releases. It's in post 1.0, so it's like fully released and very stable. It's also very fast, and it has a lot of really good documentation out there. So if those things are absolute must-haves, then Actix is the way to go right now. There's not really like much of a choice there. Axum had is before a 1.0 release, and so it's not fully there yet, but it's getting really close. It doesn't even have a website. The only documentation is in the official like Rust docs, or you have to go and chat on Discord. But besides that, like, I prefer. So okay. I haven't used Actix Web since before 1.0 when we took a look at it and we built something in it. I do like it a lot though. I do like Axum a lot. That's what I mean. I like Axum more than I liked Actix back when it was pre 1.0. I have not taken a look at Actix Web since then, so I probably would like it a lot more now. It's probably gone through a huge number of changes since then. But yeah, I would take a look at it. Yeah, Rocket is very much a, what is it called? Like kitchen sink included. Like it tries to do everything for you, which I do like those type of servers. Like if you want to build like a full monorepo application, then Rocket would be a recommendation. However, I do caveat that it's a very slow development cycle right now with Rocket, and there's only a single developer who sometimes goes on long breaks and disappears for a while, and so the community is a little bit concerned that just might disappear one day, and then just it's the end for Rocket. So it's really hard to recommend Rocket right now. But yeah, so it's hard. I can't like compare Actix Web right now to anything else because it's probably changed a bit. Axum I would compare to other web servers like Flux, or is that it? Python Flux, or is it named something different? Or like Express or something like that. Very simple, bare bones, lets you do all the stuff, and you go from there. All right, I know we could do Mermaid, but I'm feeling lazy, so we're just gonna do a table. So we're gonna have our primary key. We're gonna have, I guess, the name. Maybe like if it's a foreign key, we'll have a name of whatever the thing is, and then the type. Okay, so for models, our primary key will be probably, let's do post ID, and we could do this as a serial. Oh no, Daddy, what happened? Oh, I've never heard of mod.lambda. No, what is it? Oh, it's a macro for writing HTML. Is this the same one that's used in Leptos? Or is this the same one used in... Oh, wait, no. This is backend rendering. It's a template engine. Oh, I got it. No, I have not looked at this. Hold on. For the initial plan with the Axum course, I was gonna look into... Terra, Askama, and handlebars, but I'd be okay to like, gonna add in mod like that, and that's okay. All right, cool. All right, well, this seems like an okay link, so let me whitelist that. Okay, you should be able to now share out that link again, and it should actually work and not ban you. Okay, so we have not the primary key, not a foreign key. The name is going to be the actual text, right? So we have the post itself. So this will be the text probably. We know that this is going to be, we're going to limit the number of characters. So we're going to use a varchar. We'll do 255. Like that's how many characters you're allowed to have. And let's see, is there anything else? So we limit the characters. Oh, it can be a response to another post. Now it can only be a response to a single post, right? So I want this to be, so not a foreign. Okay, so ironically, then this can be both a primary key and a foreign key, this ID here. Because we can have a post ID, like a parent ID, which is going to be an int. And then we also have the number of likes for this. This is going to be a single table database. I just realized that because we don't have any users for this. We could create we could basically do, yeah, let's throw in like do we want to throw in a second table for this or not? I don't know. I want this to be also an int. That'll be fine. Yeah, let's just do this. It'll just be an anonymous Twitter. And that'll be okay. So let's see. How did I do this last time? We want to search for you. And then I want to line you up. No, that wasn't. There, that's how I lined it up. Okay, cool. So this is now going to be our model. This is what we're creating. So just a single table for this, but it's going to be fine. Okay, so to create this, we're going to need to create a migration, which means we need SQLX. And I'm not going to put seeds in, so we're just going to have migrations. That's going to be fine. So SQLX. Do I need anything special with this? Oh, we need the CLI. I need the CLI in order to do the migrations. Where was that? Wasn't there didn't it suggest somewhere for us to install the CLI? Where does it suggest that? This is it, right? This is the SQL. This is the CLI. Yeah, this looks appropriate. That's gonna be fine. Famous last words, absolutely, especially in programming, right? Okay, I think this is the one we're using. If I really wanted to verify, okay, launch badge SQLX, that is correct. Is from that one. So we just want to, it's not cargo add, I want to cargo install the CLI. Which actually I already have installed, don't I? So we're already good here. But I wonder if I should reinstall it to get the latest version of this. Let's go ahead and a new floating window. Sina Mobeshiri, hello. Sorry about butchering your username. How are you doing today? And also Corbob, hello. How are you? Did I copy it? Oh, I copied the entire thing. Oh, wow. It's 8:45. I took off my watch in order to charge it. And so obviously I missed my alarm for ending the stream. So we're going to have let's update the README with the SQLX CLI, and then we'll have to continue this tomorrow. I guess like in his last few minutes, any questions, thoughts about what we're working on? Skrillex CLI. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So it added this, so we need to okay, so this is going to be CLI use cargo install. Okay. That should be good there. That's okay. My schedule still says I'm time off. Yeah, I know. My did I? Okay, hold on. Oh, you're right. Replaced package this with this one. I completely missed it. So yeah, it is SQLX CLI 073 now. You're right. Thank you for that. Yeah, my schedule does says I still have time left because I wrote my schedule in California time, but I live here in Colorado time, and that I forgot to actually need to change and remove that yesterday because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I'll do that, and maybe I won't. We'll see. All right, so you're all good here. Let's go ahead and quit out of you. So let's see, we are created the model for the database and installed SQLX CLI. That's all pushed up there. I mentioned before, this code is all right here in case you want to look at it yourself or follow along. I will have I will update the description. So if you're watching this and you want like a link to the code, just look in the description, and I will eventually get to that, probably, you know, later today, and add that in there. So for right now, that link is the only one, or you can just come to the Brooks Builds GitHub repo and then search for the Axum X Twitter clone. It's all public, so it should be good to go. So with that, I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. I have to do an emergency stream shutdown because my stand-up's in like a minute or two, a couple minutes, and I need to prepare for that. So with that, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.